In the wake of the Texas floods, I've been thinking a lot about what it means to politicize a tragedy because I think when people say they want to politicize a tragedy, they are saying a completely different thing than other people who say they don't want to politicize a tragedy. And I think both groups are maybe actually pretty reasonable and talking past each other. And I think that ambiguity is then exploited by people in positions of power who want to avoid accountability. So stay with me, irrespective of what you think about this, because I think I will address your point on this, whatever it is. So first, the type of politicization, if you could call it that, which I don't agree with, is when we politically compartmentalize our basic recognition of the humanity of other people, right? Whether it is somebody who lost their home in Altadena near Los Angeles in a fire, or someone who lost their home in Kirk County in Texas to a flood, when the people who are on the other side of the political spectrum essentially dance atop the rubble of the ruin of that person's life, right? Where it's like, ha ha, that happened to you. Ah, sucks to suck. Ha 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 ha, right? That is something that I think is crass and pointless and cruel. But I think there is a type of politicizing where we are just recognizing cause and effect in a very important way so we can prevent more tragedies. And here's an example, and it's kind of a simple example, but it's a hypothetical just to illustrate my point. So let's say that in your city, there's a political party called the No Engineering Party. And the only goal of the No Engineering Party is to prevent any structural engineers from being consulted in any way or involved in any way when city infrastructure is built, like parking garages or bridges or hospitals. And then every few years, because of the efforts of the No Engineering Party, some building collapses on a bunch of people, or some hospital's wall breaks off and falls into the street and lands on somebody, or some bridge snaps in half, right? And if you are somebody who is trying to convince an uninformed and apathetic public that it's really important to stop the No Engineering Party, the best time to communicate that very important message is when the latest bridge or building has collapsed, right? That's the time to say, hey guys, I've been trying to tell you, this is happening because of the No Engineering Party. We need to stop the No Engineering Party, right? That is something that is not crass and does not disrespect or compartmentalize other people. That is something that respects other people. That is something that says, hey, it's really bad and really important that this thing happened to these people. And we need to make sure it doesn't happen to other people because people are important and people matter, right? So one version of this completely dismisses people's humanity. Another version of this demands we act in accordance with people's humanity. And I think it's important to realize what we're talking about when we say politicizing, because those are two different things.